So the DLC level for Sonic Cross Shadow Generations has just been released, and it's actually a really little cool thing. Basically, it allows you to go through this brand new portal located in the main overworld of the game, and allow you to essentially go through a new zone that's just been added. Sadly, it is only one level, so if you're buying this DLC separately, maybe keep note of that, but this level, it's a banger of a stage. You're blasting through Tokyo as good old movie formed of shadow, and you also have Keanu Reeves' iconic voice running through as you're progressing, which is really, really cool. And honestly, it's just a really fun, stylish level with a lot of cool set pieces, a lot of animation to it, and a lot of style, which I really love. Unfortunately, I do have some gripes about this. Like I said, it is only one level long for a DLC, and I guess 2 challenge levels as well, which are like these little mini things. The first one of which you have to like pop balloons, and the second one of which is, get so many rings and get to the end of the level within our time limit. So there's not really too much to the DLC. Unfortunately as well, I can barely hear Keanu Reeves. For some reason, I think the guy doing the audio mixing, he had the volume of the voice acting set way too low, so you can barely hear Shadow over the music, which is absolutely brilliant. It plays a rendition of Westopolis from Shadow the Hedgehog, which sounds, it sounds bellissimo, it sounds delicious, what can I tell you? But Shadow speaks so quietly, I can't hear a word he's saying. It almost is kind of like when Keanu was in the recording booth talking, it almost kind of sounded to me like he was saying the script for the first time, and instead of doing like a recording overtake in order to make sure his voice is high, make sure people can hear him, they just sort of left it as is, and instead of increasing the volume in post, they didn't. So unfortunately, Keanu's performance as Shadow, well, it's okay, but you can barely hear it. It's quite a shame, honestly. But, this whole thing is like a cheap level just designed to like promote the upcoming movie anyway. And does it do a good job? I say yes. It's a really fun bonus little extra stage. If you purchase the digital deluxe version of Shadow Generations, this is all free to you because it comes as a bonus. And yeah, it's a fun time. I like it. Unfortunately, it does cost £5 or $5, I think, as well in the US to be able to play if you don't already have it through the deluxe edition. So, is it worth $5? No, not really. I would say this is probably worth it more, like, if you get it as part of a bundle, or if it's just something you got for, for cheap, I guess. The full £5 for it is a bit of a steep ask, because it is, like I said, just one level and 2 challenge acts, If it had an extra level on top, then maybe I would say it would be worth it, but, as a short little experience, it's a jolly good fun one. I've been enjoying it, I've enjoyed it, I've done a couple of run-throughs now, and yeah, that's the main gist about it. It's got great level design. The level is actually really, really well designed. But one of the big problems that did come with this release is the update that shipped this DLC did seem to have an adverse effect on the game on certain copies. In fact, my Steam Deck copy of this game is one of those copies that had an adverse effect, in which the game will just crash at boot. I don't have any mods installed, so it wasn't like a configuration thing on my end. It's just that certain machines now just crash on boot when you try to run this, which is annoying. And again, I had this issue on my Steam Deck, which is running Windows, so that also doesn't help. That that contributes a bit to it, I think. Maybe like the drivers are out of date and need to be updated for it or something like that. However, thankfully, I have worked out a workaround, which is to use DXVK which is basically a translation layer that allows the game to convert all of its DirectX calls to Vulkan calls. And I just plopped that into the game folder. That fixed the problem on my Steam Deck perfectly. I was able to play the DLC no problem. Fortunately, on my main computer, I didn't even have any issues whatsoever. So it does seem to be like specific devices that have come into problems. I don't know whether it's a driver thing. I can't really test that by updating the driver, because the Windows Steam Deck driver is basically as is, I think it came out like November last year, hasn't had any updates to it. It's kind of just what you get, unfortunately. But, the crashing issue aside, and the fact that there's only one level, and honestly, I'm not sure if it's worth the entry price. It's still a really cool time, to run around as Movie Shadow. I wished, however, you could play as Movie Shadow outside of the stage. They made his skin, exclusive to this level for some reason. And I don't know why they did this. I really have no idea why they did this. It's an odd choice, to say the least. I'm pretty sure, however, it's not a big deal. Because, modders, they're going to come in, and obviously... there's probably already mods out now. Hang on, let me go check. Oh, there we go. So in the mod manager, actually, they have added the feature in as a code. So it's such a weird thing. Why is the movie skin locked purely to the stage? That's such an oversight that I don't quite understand. Maybe it's something to do with animations, because I know that he has a unique level ending animation or something. But it's one of those really weird situations where I just don't know. I couldn't tell you. But, if you guys got Shadow Generations already and you have this DLC, give it a play. It's a really good, fun time. And it's definitely going to be something to, tingle the palate, I suppose, until Sonic 3 rolls around now on the 21st. Which I can't wait for. Oh, I'm going to be seeing that film and I cannot wait. Oh, it's going to be great. At least I hope it is anyway. But I'll make a video talking about my thoughts on that when it comes out. But yeah, it's a bit of a hard thing. If you don't have the DLC already, it'll be hard to justify the purchase unless it goes on sale. But for what it is really good fun, and I do really like it. I just wish there was a bit more meat to it, That's my main getaway. And again, I can barely hear Keanu Reeves. I can barely hear Shadow over the action and the collecting of the rings, the music, the explosions. But I digress. Anywho, that's it for now. So thank you all for watching. I shall see you after. Bye.